And then we'll get into like the more freaking like I don't know what you would call it, like just sort of like internet, just news, drama, stuff like that later. But this is just gonna be actual like industry, video game industry news. Got my iced coffee. Let's freaking go. I'm freaking ready to go, Monos. Let's do it. Very dark. Steam changes review score system, silently manipulating scores to protect companies. Yo, Steam has been acting up lately. What is going on with you, bro? First it was the whole credit card situation, and now potentially you're freaking like faking reviews
We've all been
or
talking a lot
manipulating
about
reviews.
platforms like Steam potentially being
Oh, my bad.
debanked
I didn't mean to have the audio there.
by Visa and MasterCard and just all of this censorship that is spreading across the video game industry. But now it seems that they're focused on something completely different because they're launching language-specific review scores, which seems very suspicious to me. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, over the past couple of years, we have seen a lot of different platforms change the way that their review processes work. We've seen platforms like Rotten Tomatoes introduced verified audience scores. We've seen Metacritic do something similar. IMDb put measures in place to avoid review bombing, and Valve also actually put in review bombing measures last year at the beginning of 2024. But now it seems that they're taking
Which is interesting because they did all that and people still like accuse people of review bombing. It's like, no, at a certain point, people just don't like your stuff.
this all a step further because they're launching language-specific review scores. And they're claiming it's because customers in different regions of the world may have vastly different experiences from each other for the same game, which definitely does not strike me as something that could go over particularly well. When platforms start playing with the way that people consume information and they start playing with the way that information is presented.
Yeah, no. Now it's language specific. Then they're gonna say it's culture specific. Then they're gonna say it's you know, they're always gonna make up something that is ideology specific. To like, shut up. No, like this is just another freaking stupidity, another stupid way for them to try to like to basically to censor actual reviews, to make sure that people they can manipulate how specific reviews look or how specific games look to certain people. And it's like, yeah, it don't matter how you do it. Like a bad game is a bad game. Like they gotta stop trying to like figure out some like 4D checker move to like not allow reviews to be reviewed, like or not allow.
I always think
Yeah,
that it's for be
sorry, to not allow
specific
like reviews to be seen, I guess.
reason. So it says in its never-ending quest to achieve,
Sorry.
start playing with the way that information is presented to people. I always think that it's for very specific reasons. So it says in its never-ending quest to achieve algorithmic nirvana, Valve has updated Steam's user review scoring system for some games to be calculated based on the language in which they were written. I absolutely hate that it's not even just across the board. It's for some games, meaning it's the same way that they approach the review bomb situation. Basically, if their AI detects suspicious activity, that's all they really say, then certain reviews end up being withheld and they will slowly be added to the score. But we've seen that work in major studios' favor in the past, where gamers are upset for legitimate reasons, but yet Valve will withhold a bunch of scores in order to make the situation seem more positive surrounding one of these major companies and their games. And I just don't trust that they're doing this because they believe this is best for the platform. I believe they're doing this because they believe it's best to protect the major companies. When there are enough reviews written in a particular language, Steam will calculate a review score for that language, Valve explained. The review score displayed to users will be based on their primary language. What this means is that some languages may
Sorry about that. I think there's somebody at the door real quick. Let me go check. Sorry about that. There was nobody there. Doggos are just going nuts for no reason. They just freaking like I promise you, I'm trying to freaking like get them like I'm trying to teach them to like not do that. It's a very bad habit of theirs.
Show more positive review scores while others may show more negative ones for the same game. The language-specific review breakdown will be provided for any game with more than 2,000 public user reviews, at least 200 of which are written in at least one language. Valve said the thresholds are high.
Again, I feel like this just defeats the entire purpose of the review system, doesn't it?
Higher than the 10 reviews required to calculate an overall review score because we wanted to be pretty confident in the language specific score before it shows up to users. And the problem with this is that it doesn't.
Because as we all know, if you speak Spanish, you have different values. You're not the same as English speakers. So obviously we want to segregate as many people that speak different languages as possible. I see where you're going for, Steve.
Doesn't show the full picture like with Wu-Chang Fallen Feathers. At release, there were Chinese gamers who were very
Steve is basically pulling like, well, you don't speak American? In that case, let me simplify it for you.
Upset about its historical inaccuracies, and that is one of the reasons why the score ended up dropping to mixed, also because of technical difficulties. But there were a lot of Chinese gamers who were upset over that. And then, of course, weeks later, we found out that the game was censored for these Chinese users. But I think it is still important at release to see the full picture regardless of who is saying it. And if you look at the reason why the scores for something like Wu-Chang were initially mixed, weeks later, it is now sitting at lower scores, and there have been more negatives put on because of censorship. And if a game is review bombed for a good and legitimate reason, like censorship, well, a certain group of people will now not see those negative reviews, and they will only see.
But yeah, but again, this all comes back to like the same to like this weird language that we just started making stuff up again, like or like we started making up terms for things that already existed. Like, it's not a review bomb. If your game just sucks and people hate it, then people are gonna review it and say that it sucks. It's not a review bomb. It's just that your game just sucks. Like, I don't get why they just call it a review bomb as like some kind of way to be like, no, trust me. The reason why the reviews are bad is because I got review bombed. It's like that just means your game sucks.
In some places, apparently, a very positive score now.
If all the reviews are bad, it just probably just means this game
don't
sucks.
Have all of the knowledge, and then when it gets censored, they'll have no idea why until it's too late. Look at all of the media that we consume worldwide at this point. I consume a lot of media from Japan and China and South Korea, but their criticisms might be valid, and I want to know what they are. I think that it is important that we see an overall picture and not just the picture that Valve wants to paint surrounding certain titles. I think that this just could go very wrong very quickly. Now, it says, of course, this is Steam, and that means you can dive deeper into the numbers if you want to, but it's not going to be initially presented to people, which I just think is such a scummy way to approach this, because it really just boils down to them having more control and them having more ways to censor certain reviews. I don't trust any platform at this point that does something like this. We saw it happen with Rotten Tomatoes.
It's also, again, just straight up. It literally is just straight up trying to besides just, like trying to censor. It's also literally just another form of like separating people. You know, I always felt like the point of the internet was to like bring people together. Now you want to segregate, you want to separate them like by language again. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like,
as well.
Why?
They dropped the audience score in favor of verified ratings to combat review bombing. Rotten Tomatoes officially dropped its traditional audience score in favor of a new verified ratings popcorn meter system, which will only measure ratings from fans who have actually purchased tickets through Fandango, the owner of Rotten Tomatoes. The announcement had marked the first major change to Rotten Tomatoes since back in 2019, following the Captain Marvel controversy, when Rotten Tomatoes dropped the audience want to see see feature. Now, when users go to Rotten Tomatoes, they will see the popcorn meter instead of the audience score, and that's not all, as Rotten Tomatoes has also revamped how it makes scores available, which depends on the movie's box office estimate.
Bro, it's like it's no wonder and no surprise that the majority of people no longer even look at Rotten Tomato scores.
See below. No longer will scores be made available right away with a limited number of reviews or ratings available. So, right now, with all of the censorship that is going on worldwide, I just don't particularly believe that this is some massive coincidence. Valve said that it wants users and their reviews to be as useful as possible without requiring users to twiddle with the many knobs the system has, but you can switch back to all language ratings in your Steam settings if you prefer.
I wanna point out the fact that they use that language. They want the reviews to be as useful as possible. They didn't say they wanted them to be accurate. They didn't say they wanted them to be honest as possible. They said they wanted them to be useful.
Yeah, but again, they are basically making it so certain games appear a certain way.
Useful
in a lot
to
of
who?
cases, much more positively to
Because I feel like if a game is review bombed for a good reason, that's incredibly useful to me.
normies, instead of us
To
seeing,
most
I don't know,
like people who play the
100,000
games.
for a mixed score, we might only see 50,000, which pushes it into a positive score. It just doesn't seem particularly good to me. And maybe I am overreacting, right? Maybe I'm jumping the gun, but I don't trust companies, and I really don't think that anybody should either at this point. So I'll definitely be keeping my eye on the situation and how it changes their platform over the next couple of months. There's a lot of people saying things like, I think this will have some good side effects, but obviously the main reason for this is Chinese review bombing. But like Steam's regular review bomb protection, this isn't really silencing or suppressing any reviews, just categorizing them. But I do think that this could end up leading to censorship. You can't always expect that companies want to do the best for their users when it boils down to hiding certain content from people. They can.
And me personally, the thing is, what I tend to see on the internet is that the more you try to like, because like you see one. Well, here's one thing. When something goes good, like when you see a movie that's like good, it's a good movie. Right? It just is what it is. You play a game that's good. It's a good game. You like the game. You think of fun on it. You know. When you play a game that's just okay, you don't really care. You move on. You go and you remember something else like BioShock or Dead Space. When you play a really bad game, like a really, really bad game, you freaking hated it. Yeah, it just hit the worst. What I tend to notice is that people they really want to bring that up. They want to like express that. They want to talk about that. You know, they want an outlet for all of that. Like, this is like just terrible, and I spent money on this garbage. You get what I'm saying? So typically, going to the review section where you can sort of like let out all that frustration was a very, very good thing. Not only for the game, because you know, typically, you know, people sort of know what they're getting into. So if anybody does buy the game, they already know, like, hey, you know, I understand some people don't like it, but maybe maybe they're a fan, or maybe they just want to support. You know, it is what it is. If you take away, or I should say, the more you take away people's like ability to complain, I'm gonna say it like that. The more you take away people's ability to complain, the more they're gonna have to find another outlet for all that like complaining to go to. And you know where it's gonna go? If it doesn't go if it doesn't go, just like with YouTube with their dislike button, if it doesn't go to the dislike button, it's gonna go to the comments. It's gonna get mean. Now there's the chance to freaking delete freaking comments, and the chance to just turn off comments altogether, or to filter them, moderate them. So it's like, so now what's happening? We've seen this this revolution or evolution on YouTube, where now it's not even people leaving comments. Now it's gone into full blown like people are making videos talking about like their opinion on stuff, whether it's a game, whether it's another person, whether it's a movie, and people will gather around that one video, and instead that video blowing up is a means to show their distaste for the movie. You get what I'm saying? So very similar to that, if you don't allow people to leave an honest review on the game and for them to feel satisfied with that, then it's either going to go into the mean words in the comments of those reviews, or it's going to go into YouTube videos talking about how bad the game is, or it's going to go into people basically what you see happening right now, which is where companies like Sweet Baby Inc. basically have every single opportunity to them taken away because people are just like so freaking tired of them getting involved and so freaking tired of them messing with good games that you know they will find any and all ways to be like, all right, you want to take away the things that I like, I'm gonna take away all the things you like too. Let's play that game. You want to play ball? Let's freaking play ball. You know, they're going to go to Twitter, they're gonna go to Reddit, they're gonna go to wherever the hell they go to like release that freaking like anger, that frustration they have with the crappy game. And like I've said many times in the past, it's kind of like one of the major reasons why, especially when I was younger, I was a big fan of Angry Joe. It was the Mass Effect 3 ending, when basically it was the exact same ending, but whether you wanted a green, blue, or red ending. And it was like, I was so incredibly dissatisfied and just pissed off with that ending that I needed to find. I would not stop until I found one person on the internet that shared that same like anger, frustration towards it. Like, y'all had so many years of perfection to just like throw it away in an instant. You get me? It was so dumb. It was so freaking bad.
Which we all know that is
Whoops.
what it's for. Is language truly a fair meter? I need to find the most trustworthy review language that is least prone to review bombing or otherwise conflating non-gameplay issues into reviews. We'll have to see how this ends up going. Maybe this will be positive. Maybe it won't be that big of a deal. But given all of the news we've seen surrounding Steam over the past couple of weeks, yeah, I just don't know if I necessarily trust this. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this important and informative, make sure to give it a like. And if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.
I think it's absolutely just pushing the envelope ever so slightly to try to get that sort of like to cover all their bases when it comes to like controlling the narrative. I'm typically a big Steam fan. I'm a major game fan. It's kind of sad to see that this direction they're going in. That and the whole Visa MasterCard situation is a real bummer to see happen. I'm hoping they straighten themselves out soon, and we can get back to, you know, good old-fashioned just video games. You know, because that's what we like to see. That's what we like to game on. I hope that, you know, it like we understand. I hope we can sort of like get past all this like weird like made-up language, like review bombing. Like the review bombing is not a real thing. If you piss off an entire community of gamers and they go and talk trash about your game, even if it's because the trailer looked like garbage, or because they disagree with the messaging of the game, that's a criticism of the game. You get what I'm saying? Now, if Steam wanted to do something like, I don't know, like, you have to buy the game in order to leave a review, like, play the game, I would say they have to increase the amount of time you're able to refund the game, but I would be okay with that. Only if there was like a 72-hour, yeah, like a cool 72-hour grace period to refund the game. At the same time, though, to be fair, right? I know for a fact certain games can be beaten in under 72 hours. So there'd have to be like way more rules too, you know, like maybe like some sort of like there's a penalty fee. You get what I'm saying? If you wait past that initial 2 hours, there's a penalty fee. I can say that much. Like I can see that for sure. It's just software at the end of the day, you know. All right, Monodachis, what a freaking phenomenal video! Please go and drop a like or drop a sub to Vara Dark for informing us. I would not have known at all if it wasn't for this video. I didn't even know this happened. Flat out, this was like 8 days ago. Had no idea this was happening. I'm really starting to like really want to go over to GOG now. Not even necessarily for this, by the way. More than anything, because GOG like made that whole change where all game like they're basically any games that will not be able to be preserved for future offline play, they're just gonna start to remove. And I'm like, that's such a freaking like baller move. And at the very least, for me personally, I would like to buy GOG games and then install them on like my external hard drive, so like I could just like a really fast one, like an SSD, but like the ones that are like the heavy duty ones. So I could go somewhere and be like, ooh, Fallout 3, bam, play it. Just plug it into the computer, Fallout 3, bam. Oh, Fallout New Vegas, bam, play it. You know what I'm saying? Dead Space 2, Dead Space 1, play it. Ooh, you know what I'm saying? Just have like a cool little like just in case the apocalypse happens, you know, and you still got, but you're somehow able to get electricity going. It's like, that's right, I still got my video games. Hell yeah, boy. Ayo, Monodachis! Thank you so much for watching this video. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. You can also find links to the videos that we reacted to today down in the description below, along with my Oshi marks. I'll see you in the next video, Monos. Goodbye, and thank you so much for swinging by. Salut!